I talked about the Clippers a couple of weeks ago, and I was saying the difference this year in what I see with them is you have that element almost like a James Harden in Jamal Crawford. You get a guy who's going to put up 20 for you coming off the bench is so valuable. You got to have 2 to 3 scorers here. And, Jamal's going to be the 6th man of the year. We thought former Wolverine, and lo and behold, he's got his team in the national championship game, and his Clippers have won the division. Where are you going to watch the game tonight, Jamal?
Tonight I think I'll be watching it at Chris Paul's house. He invited everybody over, and, he's a big Hoops fan, so I think it'll be a great environment. I think it'll be a fun night.
Okay, give me an idea of what the man cave will be like at Chris Paul's house.
Well, how much space he has, I'm not sure it's a man cave. It may be a whole floor or something. I'm not sure. But I think it'll be a great environment, great food, a lot of yelling and hooting and hollering for, guys' teams and stuff. And I think it'll be a great game.
Okay, but are they going to give you grief if Michigan starts to go down and, they're going to be jumping on the Louisville bandwagon?
Well, Chris won't because he actually picked Michigan to win in his bracket before the tourney started, So I think I'll be in the majority tonight.
I would wear my Michigan uniform if I were you.
I would have, but it got stolen when I left. All 3 uniforms I wore there got stolen when I left. A lot of people don't know that, and I tried to get them after I left, and they were all stolen, so I never got one.
Wait.
I have a Michigan sweatshirt on for sure.
Wait, what happened? They got stolen where?
From the equipment manager. When I guess I decided I was going to the NBA, they got stolen afterwards, and they haven't appeared since then.
Wow. Has anybody investigated
crazy.
that?
Well, I don't know if they look too hard. I should investigate it now. I should investigate that now.
Help me understand, the Chris Webber situation. You got the rest of the Fab Five, and they want Chris to show up, but he won't show up. Why?
I don't know. I think I was watching Jalen's interview, actually, and he may have brought up a good point. He probably wants to leave that part, alone as far as how things ended there. He's such a huge part of the Fab Five and what it meant. I mean, he was the guy, So I even tweeted about it last night, 20 years after they played in the final. I would love to see all those guys together rooting on Michigan, And now I'm seeing a lot of support from celebrities hoping that Chris comes to the game because the past is the past. Let's move forward. It'd be great to see all those guys there together rooting their team up.
But, Jamal, the impact the Fab Five had on you when you're growing up was what?
The other reason I went to Michigan. I'm a kid in Seattle, Washington, and I wanted to wear the baggy shorts and the black socks and the black Charles Barkley shoes, just the bald heads, everything they had, their effect will never be forgotten. So those guys got me, a kid from the Pacific Northwest, all the way across country to go to the Midwest, just because their effect they had on college basketball. So for me, I would love to see those guys together.
And it was something different. We had not seen that. You saw swagger, but you also saw freshmen who weren't afraid to take on the establishment. Teams like Duke and North Carolina.
Exactly. And I'm not sure you'll ever see that again. 5 guys straight out of a year removed from high school, all together, leading the team going to the national championship. And this year we have a young team in Michigan, but not 5 freshmen together. He's
Jamal Crawford of the Clippers joining us. Dan Patrick Show. Trey Burke's future in the NBA is what?
Oh, it's very bright. Very, very bright. I see a lot of, there's only one Chris Paul, I believe, but I see a lot of Chris's tendencies in him.
Wow.
And he actually went to Chris's camps, I think, coming up, and he's a great player. His will to win, I think his pace, the way he controls the game, he's a good communicator with his teammates. It's not always about him. He always is very unselfish. He's always trying to make the right play, and I love his game.
How does it benefit you coming off the bench instead of starting?
Well, I think it gives us good balance, honestly, because myself, Blake, and Chris are the top 3 scorers. So when those 2 come out the game and I come in the game, they have confidence with myself in the second unit that we can get the job done, at least keep the lead where it's at, if not increase it. With that, those guys will be well rested. They'll be fresher during the course of the games. They don't feel the pressure of having to make every play every single time, and our second unit has been terrific. I think it's the best bench in the NBA, and 1 through 5, the guys that come off the bench, we all have a role to play. We all understand our role, and we all have a great chemistry together.
How many head coaches have you played for in the NBA?
16 in 13 years, which is unbelievable because if you think about it, every coach has a different way they see using you, a different scheme.
Jamal, that's got to be a record.
Yeah, I bet it is. It's unbelievable. I've only played for the same coach back-to-back years once in my career and then one time in high school. So
can you name all 16 coaches?
Yeah, I just did this actually like a month ago. I can. It started with Tim Floyd, then it went to Bill Cartwright, then it went to Bill Berry, then Scott Skiles, Lenny Wilkins, Herb Williams, Larry Brown, Isaiah Thomas, Mike D'Antoni, Don Nelson, Mike Woodson, Larry Drew. From Larry Drew was Nate McMillan. Then it was Caleb Canales. And now it's Vinny Del Negro.
Wow. You're not
unbelievable.
You know what? We're going to check into this to see if that's an NBA record. I can't imagine somebody playing for that many coaches in a career.
Yeah, I mean, some guys have played for one coach, maybe two or three, and that's pretty much it. So you get comfortable in what you're doing, and your game really flourishes and grows because of that. But like I said, with a different coach, they want you to start. They want you to come off the bench. They want you to be aggressive or be a facilitator. It's always kind of changed, and you try to make the best of it.
Scouting report on the Lakers is what?
They're a desperate team right now, and they're playing like it, and they're playing a lot better basketball if you look since the All-Star break. And, I think if the urgency they're playing with, they'll have a chance, but things have been kind of tough on them with the injuries and putting all those pieces together. I said before the season, even before it started, it's not always easy putting that kind of talent and those kind of superstars together at once, and especially that fast, and they struggled a little bit in the injuries, and now they're just trying to play for their basketball lives, and they have to kind of hope Utah doesn't play better, but they're right there in the end.
But I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, that no matter what happens, if the Lakers are playing well, they get the headlines. If they're not playing well, they get the headlines. How does that feel being a team that won the division now when you see this happen?
Yeah, so for us, it really doesn't matter because, like you said, if they play well, they're going to get the headlines. If they don't, they'll get the headlines. I remember we won 17 in a row, and it was talked about a little bit, but then the Lakers had won 3 or 4 in a row at that time. They're like, okay, here they go, they're rolling. It was kind of funny, but I mean, they've earned it with the history they've had. We're trying to make our own history, and this year winning divisions is definitely a start.
Your reaction when DeAndre Jordan threw down that dunk on Brandon Knight? Where were you on the floor?
Well, I was on the bench. I actually didn't play that game, and all of our reactions were different. Matt Barnes ran on the court all the way to the other end, I think, and started doing jumping jacks or push-ups or something. Blake is on the bench running in circles next to me. I'm grabbing my head like I don't believe what I just seen. And Brandon Knight, give him credit. He was making the right defensive play, rotating over, but DeAndre, it was like he didn't see him. He was so high up, and it was just an amazing play, and that's something to be seen, I think, all year.
Before I let you go, what is considered a great year for the Clippers? Because winning the division is one thing. Now we got to look at what you do in the playoffs.
Yeah, ultimately, I think we'll be judged by the playoffs, and that's why I said if we had won 65 games and if we were 65-17, and losing the first round, it doesn't matter. But I think we're building momentum at the right time. We just won 50 games, and for us, getting to the Western Conference Finals and ultimately playing for a championship is what it's about. That's what we've talked about since day one, and that's our goal. So we'll continue to work towards that, and take it game by game, round by round, and see what happens.
Pleasure having you on. Have fun tonight. Give my best to Chris hosting the party tonight.
No, I will, and hopefully you get better so we can see you out there shooting some jumpers. I know that's bothering you a little bit.
Yeah. I'm wounded. I got a bad wing right now, so but I'm.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah, but I wouldn't challenge you. There's certain guys I wouldn't challenge shooting.
Well, maybe I'll shoot my offhand, and you can shoot with your strong hand. We can see what happens.
Oh, wait a minute. That wow, that hurt a little bit there, Jamal.
No, that hurt. I was born left-handed, so I can shoot with both hands.
Who are you afraid to shoot against if there was money at stake?
If there was money at stake, maybe Ray Allen. He's a dead-eye shooter, that's for sure. He's probably one of the best I've seen in person. Or Reggie Miller. He was probably the best as well.
But
those two.
Game on the money, big money, and you got Kobe there, even though he's not the best pure shooter.
Yeah.
Would he make you nervous?
Those moments he earns his money, that's for sure. He thrives in those moments. So that would be one guy that definitely would be up there. Him, Carmelo. I think Chris is a great closer as well. Durant. Those 4 guys are probably the best.
Have fun tonight, and good luck to your Wolverines.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
All right, Jamal Crawford. Good appearance there. Good personality.